Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Boys. This is episode 227. Yes,
Yep.
yes. I'm Mike.
I'm Colin.
And yeah, today we're gonna talk about stuff and things and weeks and how the world is going, probably.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but, I did say Mike was going to do something at the end of last episode last week, so
I did, and
you do have to stay tuned for that.
yeah. What was the exact thing you said again? I'm forgetting at the moment, even though I made the cut.
Mike squirts this week.
Oh, right. Yeah, stay tuned. And if you know what that is, I guess watch the end of last episode, because you should watch the episodes all the way to the very end. Every single
Some of our
time.
funniest moments in an episode are at the very end.
That is
where
true.
nobody's watching. So
That is true. We're forced to come up with a scenario every week with Love Cage. We've cornered ourselves into a bit every week. So
the goddamn band Cage the Elephant made us do that.
Yeah.
And that was like 2 years ago. So
damn, that's crazy. But anyways, yeah. How was your week, man?
My week was fine.
Cool.
You know.
Ish.
I hate my job. And I don't want to be there anymore. So that's one thing. But but
what else is new?
Exactly. It's I think it was mostly just my problem this week was just that I was in the hole again, back cash, staring at a wall for a lot of the time, even though I didn't have to be. Or I couldn't. There were plenty of people that could have been there instead. And my one manager was like, "Yeah, next time I do one of those schedule sheets, I won't put you in the hole all day, unless you're the only option." And then I was in the hole all day when there were many options.
Sounds about right.
And yeah, and also, I got there at 10:30 on Tuesday. I think. Yeah, Tuesday. And, I was supposed to leave at 6. And then there were like 3 other people that came in. One at 11, one at 12, and one at 3. And all of them were off at 6 as well. And I was, I was in the hole. It got to 6 o'clock. I was like sick. I can't wait to leave. Excited not to be here anymore. And then one by one, I saw all of the people that were off at 6, other than me, leaving and clocking out, and I was stuck back there because he was like, "We're gonna once your coworker gets in, I'll put him back there and you can go." And at that point, it was like 6:02 or something. It wasn't like egregiously past. He didn't show up late, but it was the principle of thing where like I got here before all these people, and I'm the last one of them leaving.
Yeah, that's annoying.
This is, and there was also a thing where he could have put one of our coworkers back there until the one that was scheduled for 6 came in, put their drawer back there, and then just had them go back there and put the other person back where they were prior, and just let me leave. But he didn't. So, I was a negative Nancy leaving that store, and
a cranky Colin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, it's also just been hot again. Not as hot as last week, but still had some scorchers this week for sure.
Yeah.
And that didn't help either. But, and then like on last Saturday, it was also like the busiest day we've had in like the whole summer. I don't know what happened, but we were just like slammed all day. and then Sunday was like one of the slowest days we've had all summer. So it was like, it was,
Yin and
and I got to
yang.
go home like, yeah, I got to go
Yeah.
home like 2 hours early on Sunday,
Damn.
and um, and then on Wednesday, we had, I got in at like 10, and it was like breakfast was going fine. It wasn't like terribly busy, and then lunch hit, and there were like two mobile orders with a total of like 20 Happy Meals
Mm-hmm.
on across both. Um, and it was just like this like summer daycare or summer school or something, bringing in a bunch of kids and making like a giant mobile order instead of like calling us ahead of time and warning us like, oh, we're gonna bring a lot of kids in, we're gonna have a lot of so to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. And we also had like a 2 hour rush on top of that, so it was like, awesome. But that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then uh me, Mike, John, and Vince all planned like a get together for
Mm-hmm.
the end of the month, and we decided on the 26th, which is 3 weeks away from tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, last Saturday, as you're hearing this, and
Also, the day after my EP comes out, I think.
woo,
Yes. Woo! All right.
yeah, woo,
Self promo
um,
in the middle of your day week.
we have to give a 3 week like request to, in order to get days off
Which is
that we
already
request.
kind of crazy for
Egregious,
McDonald's.
yeah.
Yeah.
um it used to be 2, but then we switched scheduling apps, and for some reason now it's 3. I don't know. But we, 3 week advance, I'm like, okay, I'll do that, and it was like perfectly within the time limit. Like I had a few days before it was exactly 3 weeks, so it wasn't like pushing the envelope or anything.
Mm-hmm.
um and I sent that request in. The next morning I woke up and it was like, yeah, rejected. I already submitted the schedule for approval.
Mm-hmm.
And I messaged my boss and I was like, here, I can read it real quick.
Oh boy. Leaking
uh
DMs.
Leaking DMs here.
Mm-hmm.
uh let's see. I said, hey, manager name, are we supposed to be requesting off like a month in advance now? July 26th is 3 weeks away, which is what we've known to be the amount of time needed to request off for. I don't think it's really fair that I can't get that day off if I'm submitting the request in the needed amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
which I think, is a fair way of putting that. Um, and then I also, after that, I kind of just said another thing. I was like 10, 20 minutes later, I was like, and if that's the case, there are dates in August that I need to request off that are blocked out.
Yeah.
Uh, by blackout. There are blackout days on our schedule because every Friday in August is blacked out, which means you can't request off because of I guess we're going to be busy those days, but every Friday is blacked out. And I was like, I need to request off the weekend of Vince's wedding, and I need to request off the day after my Come Core Romance concert because I need the rest after that.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, me and Max went in before she started work to get breakfast, and we were just sitting waiting for our food, and my manager's like, Colin, can you come here? And I was like, oh, God. And I'm sure it just would have been a text if he didn't um, see me there, but he was just like, what day do you need off? And I was like, this day. Like I literally sent it to you, but whatever. He
Mm-hmm.
was like, and then I told him about Vince's wedding as well, and he's like, that's right before school starts. That's crazy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I
I
don't give
didn't
a fuck.
schedule
That's
the wedding,
crazy.
and also that's my best friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And I was like, Max needs that off too. And he was like, oh God.
Imagine you're just like, yeah, I know. Or just like, oh, yeah, that's right. I guess I can't go to the wedding.
Right, yeah.
It's like, it's
Imagine.
insane.
Um, but the whole reason that he was putting that schedule in so far in advance was because he's going on vacation. He wanted to get them done so he didn't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which he didn't give us any warning of. He didn't like tell us to put in requests before he started doing the schedules, so we would have the proper amount of time. uh, he would have the proper amount of time to see those and to plan for them, which would have been fine. I would have been completely fine with having put that uh, in a longer span of time beforehand if he had given us those facts, but he didn't. So it's on him. And talking back to your boss works sometimes. So do it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than work, which I hate, and I need a new job. I played some games this week. Steam's summer sale is going on,
Oh
so I was
yes.
like, I was looking at certain games, and there was this game called Celeste that's like a
Oh
big
yeah.
indie game that people love, and I've heard so many people gush about over the years. And I've heard it's also very hard, and I was just like, you know what, I'll try it, and bought it. It was like $4, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
so I played through that this week, and boy, the crash outs were wild. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I'll tell you what. First off, don't try to play that game on a keyboard.
Um,
Worst,
I was wondering because
wor-
I do know that's like a console port, so I was wondering if that might be one of
yeah,
those controllers are better for it.
yeah, no. Trying to play through the first couple levels on a keyboard were actual hell.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, fuck it, I can't do this. And the controller so much easier, but did not help me in the fact that like I'm bad at platformers and I was just crashing out like insane levels.
Yeah.
Um, I think in one level I had like 420 deaths.
Mm. Blaze it.
Which yeah, exactly. And I think once I finished the game, I was over like 2,000 or something
My God.
uh, across 9 levels. And
I hope the loading screens are quick
oh
between
yeah,
deaths.
no,
Yeah.
you die and then you're right back where you were.
Okay.
So it's not that big a deal when it comes to loading. It was just like the monotony of going back to the same exact spot like
Right.
a million times in a level made me want to die. Great game though.
Yeah.
Fun game, really hard, but if you're into platformers, Celeste is there, and you should get it. It's on sale, like
Yeah.
really cheap right now. And then what was it? What day was that? Sunday night we played Peak.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we played Peak again with 7 people this time, which was
Oh
something.
God. Yeah. That's right.
Mike lost his sanity due to Bing Bong, which
Yep.
I've kind of seen Bing Bong like the One Ring
Mm-hmm.
for a while, and it really seems like that is staying the case because Mike dropped Bing Bong and then killed himself because of it.
Well, okay. I had him in. So Peak is this game. To reiterate, if anyone's tuning in, wasn't here last week. It's like a climbing game. It's like you have like Breath of the Wild type stamina, and you're on this map that's randomly generated every day, and you got to get to the top of all the levels, right? And there's an achievement for getting this little stuffed plushy guy named Bing Bong up to the very top. So I put him in. There's like a backpack you can use at the very beginning. Actually, I think I put it in the second backpack. Doesn't matter. But I had him in that backpack, and he's always so safe with me. And there's really good physics usually on the backpack when you drop it, and it can kind of land on any surface, except for one, apparently, on the third of fifth levels. I put it down, and then it just like fell off a cliff, just all by itself. The backpack with very, very, very far, with Bing Bong in it, and I went after it, in terms
Yeah,
of jumping off after it. So
yeah.
and it was actually kind of poetic. I'm not sure if you saw, because you might have been spectating someone else at that point, but I actually landed like right next to the backpack
Oh yeah.
despite it going so far away. So it was I was down there with Bing Bong in the end.
Yeah. No, I had died before that happened, and I was
Yeah.
spectating somebody else. I think Andy. He was on top of the mountain or close to it at that point, but I was
Hmm.
just going between you two, and and like I was with Andy for a little close, and then I went back to you, and you were like softly crying to yourself about
Yeah.
Bing Bong falling, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh no,
No
what
one, no one
happened?
saw it. It was just me.
And then, I went back to Andy. I was like, Mike dropped Bing Bong. And then I went back and you were like, Bing Bong!
Yeah.
You just fucking jumped. And it was cinematic.
Yeah. It's
um,
beautiful. Yeah, no, I mean,
um,
if anything else, having more than four people playing that game at once, because we had a mod to do it, it certainly brings out some drama.
it does, for sure. There was more drama surrounding Bing Bong and Andy,
Mhm.
to be fair as well, because Mike for the first level or two was just on his own, was just
Hey,
climbing
it was me
with
and
Bing
Bing
Bong.
Bong. It was me and Bing Bong.
Him and Bing Bong. And Bing Bong uses a lot of resources and steals
Exactly.
a lot from the rest of us. And
Exactly.
while like five or six of us were like tailing behind and like getting up,
Struggling.
helping each other. We were running into just empty luggage and suitcases that could have been supplies to help us. And Mike was just like, "Oh, I got a granola bar, I got airline food, rope, I got chain launchers," and we were like, "Oh God, help us!" And you were just like, "Bing bong, bing bong."
Yeah.
Um, and it was funny though.
And then Andy tried taking Bing, or no, he did take Bing
Mhm.
Bong out of my backpack
Did
and threatened to launch that shit. And I probably would have
yeah.
launched myself after it. So,
I really thought that he was gonna launch
me
it off
too.
the
I was
cliff.
surprised he didn't.
Yeah, he showed some immense
Character growth.
yeah. Um, um, and then the peak was good, and then also this week I was like, um, I got paid, and I really wanted to buy the new Death Stranding,
Mm.
um, but it's spending $76 when I still have to like
Whew.
rent a suit,
Oh yeah.
and everything. I was like, maybe not. I'll wait. But then I never finished all of the first Death Stranding,
Mm.
and it was like $17 on Steam Summer Sale. So I was like,
Oh.
I'll buy that, and I'll play that, and I'll finish that, and I'll get my fix until I, you know, feel like it's okay to buy an $80 game.
Hmm.
Uh, so I started playing that yesterday as well.
Does that
Um,
run all right on your setup?
yeah,
Oh,
runs
nice.
perfect. Um, and I'm playing with a controller on that one as well because I don't feel like it would be very fun on a keyboard.
Hmm.
Um, but that's all I played, other than some of Fortnite as well. But
Of course.
that's par for the course.
It's a given.
And then yeah, and then I watched a movie with Max, who has loved this movie since like the moment they watched it, and they watched it a
Mm.
couple times with our friends and by herself. And I was like, yeah, and I had heard it was good, but I just didn't want to sit down and watch a movie for a little while. And then I was like, you know what, let's watch it. And it's this movie on Netflix called K-pop Demon Hunters.
Mm.
um
I think I've heard of that.
and it's animated by it's from Sony Anime,
Hmm.
like um Spider-Verse type animation. um and I think I might be a K-pop girly now.
Oh.
Good movie. It's pretty funny. The music is good in it, and it's a pretty good story. um it's a good movie. I would recommend it. It's fun.
All right.
um and then I also, I watched the first couple episodes in the new season of The Bear, um, which I've again heard nobody talk about because it came out all in one day.
Yeah.
Um, and the first couple episodes were good. I'll continue watching that, report back, but it's The Bear and it's good.
Yeah. I
Um,
still need to watch that.
you should.
That
It's good.
and fucking Severance are like top of my list of
Mhm.
shows. Next time I watch
Yeah,
something, yeah.
Severance is up there. I also want to watch Mr. Robot,
Mm.
and
I should get back into watching Mr. Robot. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of shows that I need to watch, but I haven't. But I did watch through the new Marvel the last couple weeks. They did like a weird release schedule where they released 3 last week, and
Hmm.
um, but it's Ironheart, so it's the character Riri Williams, the second Black Panther movie.
Mm.
And she's kind of like a successor to Iron Man, but she's like a brilliant young black woman who's like from Chicago, and the whole series takes place in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool as well.
Shout out the
And
bear and that show.
yeah, and it's the whole series is executive produced by Ryan Coogler, and
Mm.
it's really really good. Honestly, it got review bombed because
Mm-hmm.
of course, and
Makes sense.
and but it has like the fifth or the third or fifth highest Rotten Tomatoes rating for the last few Marvel projects in this phase that
Mm.
just ended.
Nice.
um and it deserves it. It's really good. It's got a great story, great acting. Anthony Ramos is in it, who was
Mm.
John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton in
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton, uh, and he's great in it. It's just it also introduces like a really big character that's been like rumored and talked about from since like WandaVision came out, and then he finally got introduced, which is really cool. It's really good. It's really well done. It's good. All the like the CGI and the suit looks like it doesn't look bad at all, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Um, and it's great. It's really good when you don't have like racists on Twitter and Rotten Tomatoes, calling it slop and
Yeah.
woke. um, but that was good. I enjoyed that.
Cool.
Um, and then I listened to one thing. I listened to Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon.
Oh, let's go.
Um, which really good shit. Really, really good. Um, and everything Mike said is correct and true about the instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
I also really loved his the lyrics and the delivery from
Yeah.
McKinley Dixon and everybody that was on the record as well. Just like really, really well done. Liked it a lot, and it's like a perfect summer album, I think.
Yeah. It
Um,
really matches the warm vibes.
mhm. Great album cover as well. Love that
Oh
album
yeah.
cover. But that's basically my week. How was your week, Mike?
Week was fine. I honestly don't have too much to talk about, but that's okay because talked for a while for yours, which was fine.
Same.
No, that's that. We don't have much else to. I mean, I don't have much else to talk about this week, so it's completely fine with me. Um, but week was fine. Working stuff. I mean, not really too much significant happened at work. More so, just like I realize the more I'm there, the more I don't want to be part of that environment anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's kind of like a little bit of a I don't know what to call it, but like acquaintanceship happening between uh well, in terms of just like this week, the three of us were paired up a lot, of me and that racist old guy and the stoner with very questionable views on things.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just been that trio, and like I don't know, with like the stoner guy, it's like it's so like I'll just be chill with him one moment and we'll like be talking about like favorite cereal or something like that, and it's like, oh, it's all good, and then he just will say something out of the blue. It's like, oh yeah, you're still there. It's just I don't know. I hate guys being dudes when it comes to that kind of shit, because I'm somewhat forced to be next to them, and I don't necessarily agree with him like to his face or anything, but like I just gotta kind of nod my head and not start conflict. It's kind of how it goes with that. But yeah, I don't know, but like some of the things that were really kind of getting to me this week, there is a guy who works with us sometimes, like kind of like it's hard to describe. There's like basically like four spots on a line, and you pick up your spot at the first one, and then there's the second one, and then it goes further to the third, and then the fourth. So if you're on the first spot and you miss some boxes, sometimes the people on the second, third, and fourth will have to help you out to bring it back up. And the guy on the first spot, we had a couple days, I think. He's autistic. He's been working there for a long time. And like the old guy who also has been working there a long time, he does like him as a worker just because he works hard, but he he does miss stuff every now and then, and he'll not fully be aware of what's going on. Sometimes he'll space out, which I space out too, to be fair. But you just gotta have some patience with him. And I don't know. There was just a lot of comments going on this week about him and missing shit from the stoner guy who wasn't giving him any patience, and then like the old guy as well. Every now and then would just say some things. It's just like, oh my god, I
Jesus Christ.
I know. I just don't want to be in this environment. It's the, it's just I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's just yeah. That's I'm seeing these people more than my family. That's just what I always love thinking to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a fine week. We have today off for 4th of July, and then a couple days ago there was a holiday party, which I don't remember if I talked about. At one point they put on a sign that the holiday party for our shift would be from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and it would be our break basically. And it's like, oh, that's fucking sick, a 2 hour break. So for the last like couple weeks, I was looking forward to that. I'm like, all right, 2 hour paid break, I'll take that. But then we get to the day, and apparently it's this side does 1 hour and the other side does 1 hour. Um,
Jesus Christ.
for a
Come
total of
on.
2 hours, but not for everyone. Um, and it's
Ah,
just like, and when you look at it's literally one of those things. There's like fine print beneath it where it says, the break it will be extended to an hour, for instead of 40 minutes. But like when you're reading it quickly and like you see the time frame above it saying 6 to 8, it looks like it's saying it will be extended by an hour.
yeah.
Is kind of the impression that a lot of people got. So then it's just like, oh my god.
Come on, man.
Well, I guess I get an extra 20 minutes of paid break. But
Yippee.
yippee, yeah. So for that, they grilled some burgers and hot dogs for us. Um, they were very well done, both the hot dog and the burger. The best part of that burger was the cheap ass cheese that they put on top
Uh,
of it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and give us a bag of chips and a cookie, and could get some soda. And it's like, all right, well, it's free food, so whatever. But
Yeah.
sat outside in I mean they had like a little like a tent that they set up or whatever, that but sat outside for a little bit, but they were blasting music, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back in the air conditioning and put in my AirPods for the last 50 minutes of this break.
Yeah.
And that was that. Nothing much too much happened there. I enjoyed the air conditioning, I guess. And then after that, um, little later on in the night, I did have a little bit of a trip. I fell a little bit, caught the back of my leg on something and fell. Didn't hurt myself at all. Like literally wasn't even like a slight bruise or anything. It was, just fell right on my ass, nice and cushioned. You know, um, you know, and but it was probably like 15 minutes after that or so, just like out of the corner of my eye, I see like my back pocket like sticking out a little bit. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? What's going on? And I realized when I fell, I ripped my pants a little bit.
Uh,
Yeah, got a nice crack in my ass. It was um, it was a fairly big rip, but thankfully it was positioned like just perfectly where my shirt was long enough to cover up. And but when I'm working there, I do have to bend down a lot to grab
yeah.
certain things and whatever. So for the last like hour and a half of the shift, I was just uh self-conscious about flashing everyone.
Bad day to go commando.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I mean, I never do that anyway, but I was just like, imagine if someone did and that happened to them. It'd be very bad. um, um, but it was some gray undies on black jeans, so unfortunately there was contrast there.
Yeah.
But it was whatever though. It's just somewhat embarrassing, but no one's whatever. Nothing like that. I wasn't the laughing stock of the entire workplace or anything like that. But
They were too busy making fun of the autistic guy.
honestly, that's not even that exaggerated. But yeah. So but yeah, got home, threw away those pants. Gonna buy some new jeans at Walmart or something probably this weekend. Got my paycheck for last week with the overtime.
Let's
Um,
go.
yeah. So that's kind of nice. And then my next 2 weeks after this are 2 weeks of overtime weeks, 2 48-hour weeks in a row.
Fuck.
So may kill myself, but we'll see. And
I
but
wouldn't blame you. I
mm-hmm,
wouldn't blame you.
mm-hmm. I
It's
love.
okay. I work.
Hmm?
I'm scheduled 7 days in a row after today, so
Oh, nice.
um, you know,
Good.
I'm definitely not going to show up, but
Yeah.
still there, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. I'm gonna see how that second week goes in particular. Like if I'm just really feeling dead, I may call off on that second Saturday, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but because I think I talked. Yeah, I definitely talked about this. Or maybe no, I talked about it with you before we played Peak. I didn't talk about this on the pod. But the hardest part of that overtime week wasn't necessarily being there, because like I
Yeah.
can I can mentally prepare for that, I guess. Just be like, all right, well, I'm here for 48 hours, just get fucking used to it. It's pretty much what my mind says to itself. But the hard part was having the 1 day of rest and then having to go back. that
Yeah.
that's that was the hardest part for me. Just like, oh my god, I really it's not enough. It's not enough.
No,
um
never enough.
yeah. And so yeah, that's gonna be very hard, especially after that second week. It's like I don't know, whatever. We'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. But other than that, haven't really done a whole lot. Playing Last of Us Part Two still. On Seattle Day 3, I finished all the achievements for No Return, so now I'm just gonna be
Woo.
grinding out the story for the first time and then the second time. And yeah, doing or Seattle Day 3 Abby. I know you know that, but I guess context for everyone else. But yeah, looking forward to that. Also, my friend Vanessa's giving me a new GPU today.
Oh,
So gonna get an upgrade on my graphics cards, and Last of Us should look a little bit better, and also not crash on me periodically. This doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen sometimes, and it fucked up a couple stuff sometimes. Not during the main story, thankfully. If that fucked up something during the permadeath shit, I would have lost. That'd be a crash out, let me tell you. Um, but yeah, and then also I watched Squid Game season 3 this week.
uh,
Um, and hmm, that if anything, this really shows to me that Squid Game is really strong at starting a season and like having good ideas, but then really bad at capping off those ideas. Like the ends of all the seasons have been the worst part of each season, and same thing here. And I think this is supposed to be the end of the series. Pretty sure. Man, I was just. It was literally so bad in the last couple episodes that I was just laughing at the screen. Um, uh,
oh no.
and like there is kind of like dark comedy stuff throughout the show in general, but like I was laughing at the writing. Um,
Oh,
uh,
Jesus.
to give you a slight idea, this isn't like a huge. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but uh, I guess it may be potentially to someone who's watching it, but basically for the last 2 seasons, there's been this character. Actually, no, for all 3 seasons, there's been this character who has been searching for another character, and like has been. It, all right, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. It's his brother. He's looking for his brother for the whole like first 3 seasons. He's not part of Squid Game. He's like this detective agent. There's just been this like for the last couple seasons. There's been just this whole like police squad searching mystery type thing with oh this guy's betraying you, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And it's all this just like side filler content that like never went anywhere in season 2 because the seasons were unnaturally split up. And then you would expect there to be some payoff to it in season 3. And all of this shit for 3 seasons for him to see his brother from a distance and just say, why? And then that's it. He literally just goes, why?
Why?
And that's the end of their fucking story.
What?
I know, it's so confusing. Like it's so stupid. It's so bad. They don't know how to cap off these characters. I don't want to spoil the relation between the characters, I guess. Besides just being brothers, but actually, I will because it's literally revealed in season 1. His brother is the guy who runs Squid Game, pretty much.
Uh,
So that's why he's saying why.
uh,
But that's literally it. He says why, and they go. The guy disappears, and then that's it. Um,
that's
and
so satisfying.
yeah, it's so awesome. And then yeah, I'll just slightly spoil a couple other things too. There's a baby that's introduced into the picture. It as part of one of the players.
You got a
Um,
baby in Squid Game?
hmm And people like it. The way this is the thing that was making me laugh the most is that they just made everyone so cartoonishly evil, like, and then, like in season 1, I think they did like a decent job at like writing people realistically in the game and like having some people turn evil and nefarious and that kind of shit. But just like it's just like instantly as soon as that baby's introduced, people are just like in the Squid Game completely okay with killing a newborn. it's like
Yeah.
it's like what the hell is going on? It just becomes ridiculous. And
It's a it's commentary on the left and how okay they are with killing babies.
exactly. um um Yeah, the bad guys were the left in the show. Those money-loving, leftists. Um, but and then the other thing I want to mention is this happened in season 1 too. There's these characters called the VIPs that come in, which are supposed to be uh, it's supposed to be the most like blatant like hey this message is about capitalism and these are super rich people who just come to watch these games for fun and stuff like that. And in season 1 they were literally awful. Like they're Americans, so they speak English, but it's like with the worst fucking overdubbed accents ever, and the dialogue is
Oh,
just straight awful. And everyone hated that in season 1, and here they are. They're back in season 3. And
let's
I think
go.
it's different VIPs this time. I don't even remember. But like this is legitimately how the dialogue goes. They have a baby in the game now. Wow, we should get the mother and the child as both players. That would make things interesting. Like I'm not even kidding. That's how it goes. And that's
Oh,
how their dialogue is, and they keep cutting back to them every fucking like big decision. It's so bad, and like oh my god. Yeah, I do want to reiterate. I think season 1 of Squid Game, even though it has its faults at the end of the season, I think it's good and I think it's worth a watch and has good stuff going for it. I think there's decent things in season 2 and by default season 3 as well because it's an unnaturally split up season. Um, but like Jesus Christ, it gets so bad at the points. um, yeah. So that's Squid Game.
sick, dude.
Yeah, sick. And you can buy 12 skins in Fortnite
Yeah.
with a bundle if you want. Um, and yeah, that's that. That's
Can't
pretty
wait for
much.
the American Squid Game.
Yeah, that's also something that was teased.
Teased.
um,
Yeah.
but I
I saw
think
that.
I think Mr. Beast already did that shit. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be a VIP cameo.
Yeah, yeah, that I wouldn't put that past him. But yeah, that's pretty much why I didn't listen to anything this week. The most reviewed thing was Lord. I did listen to Lord more, and honestly, I still kind of have the same feelings. Like I think it's a good album, and there's good stuff going on. And I don't really know if it's entirely my cup of tea. But it's still good though, and has some really cool highlights for her career thus far. Shout out Lord Artist Analysis, and yeah, that's that's pretty much it for me.
Cool.
Um, in some or I guess, do you have any music news? I don't have anything written down.
No, no music.
Yeah,
Just world
no
music.
music. World's
No.
going to shit. Um, oh, actually, I can't say. There's a Maruja song or Maruja song that's coming out next week, I think. For their new album that's in September or something like that. But second single. Very much looking forward to that. They posted like a little lengthy post about the meaning of the song name and how it ties to Palestinian conflict and everything. So they've been very pro Palestine at a lot of their shows, which is cool to see from a band like that.
Mhm.
But yeah. That's all music news I got though.
I
Oh,
think Kesha's album came out today,
oh yes, it
which
did. It did.
period. Which when Joyride came out, I was very excited for it. But
Mm-hmm.
after hearing that second single, I decided I probably won't check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I may check it. Well, actually, no, it doesn't look like it. Jid released like a little EP, um,
Oh,
which is interesting because I think he has an album coming out also very soon. Yeah, August of 2025. But it looks like it's just like he called it a prelux, so it's like I guess a deluxe, but it comes out before the album. I don't know.
okay.
But that's probably what I'll be listening to, judging by the scores so far.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but in some world news, did you hear that we're going back to Nam?
What?
Uh, Vietnam is back in GeoGuessr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry, I wouldn't surprise. It surprised me if that was like a
yeah, true. Yeah,
thing.
I was teasing a realistic possibility. But what I said is a funny pun though. If you're in the know, because Vietnam was in GeoGuessr at one point, and then it got removed from Google Maps street
Why?
coverage for some reason. Back in like 2021 or something. But it was there for a bit, and then it was gone, and now it's back, and more than ever. And it's a lot of Vietnam in GeoGuessr,
Sick.
and that's fun for me. Um,
Ho Chi Minh, Ho Chi Minh.
exactly, Hanoi.
I
Um,
know.
uh, yeah, that's all I got for world news.
Um, well, I'll get to big country news after media, but
Hmm.
I have a few things written down for
Oh,
like
okay, yeah,
movies
no
and
problem.
TV. The Boys season 5, they finished filming the other day,
Nice.
which is super sick. That'll be coming out next year. Um, Aaron Moriarty, who plays Starlight
Hmm.
in the Boys, was like posting how much she's gonna miss the show. You
Hmm.
know, I saw somebody on Twitter was like, it breaks my heart to see how much she cares, but how much the fan base like clowns
Yeah.
and hates her so much. Which is also true. And I also saw Jack Quaid's his goodbye post as well. Very excited for that season though. I'm very interested to see what they do for it.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves, the director of the Batman Robert Pattinson Batman. He finally finished the script.
Oh,
Uh,
hold on, you cut out the script for what?
he finally finished the script for the second Batman.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
It's been many years at this point,
Yeah, it
and
has been.
and I'm so excited. I love that first one,
Mm-hmm.
and my favorite Batman. So,
Yeah.
fight me, hit me, and then Obi-Wan. The first season, which I enjoyed quite a bit. There's reportedly a second season,
Mm.
which can be good, can be bad, but I really love Ewan McGregor, and
Yeah.
you know, and Obi-Wan is like my favorite Star Wars character, so I'm completely fine with seeing more Obi-Wan, especially if they're gonna like, keep doing like Liam Neeson, fucking Qui-Gon Jinn, Force Ghost stuff. Would love to
Yeah.
see some more of that as well. There were definitely low points in the first season, but
Yeah.
there were definitely really high points as well. So
Yeah. I
as long
did.
as it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I did watch that first season. I think we watched a little bit of it together, the
Mm,
last part of it. And I did enjoy it. I think pretty much everything with Princess Leia was not that necessary. I
mm,
kind of wish it was more Obi-Wan and Anakin drama driven.
yeah.
But it was fine. I don't really know if there's enough story to tell for a second season, though. To be honest, at
I
least
mean,
in
I don't
my
know either.
opinion.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what they're gonna do.
Right.
But I'm fine. I mean, like, it's if like in the Ahsoka show, there were a lot of cool flashbacks
Mm.
that were like really good and my favorite parts of that show. So if they do like that kind of stuff, but also if they wanna keep that kind of stuff to Ahsoka, that's also fine. But
Yeah. I mean,
it
I,
was you know
I, I guess my worries are. I mean, the whole point of um the original Star Wars and like where Obi-Wan comes into the play is that he's just been in the desert watching Luke from afar for 20 years or whatever. And
yeah
already what happened in the first season was kind of like, oh, I guess he did something. That's interesting. But how
yeah
much more can he do during that time? I don't know. He's
yeah. I mean,
supposed to
there's
be a
also
hermit.
like yeah, that's true. I mean, he also in the Rebels show he kills Darth Maul in the desert.
Yeah.
I want in that show, so like, maybe they'll do. I don't think they'll do that
Yeah.
in live action, but stuff with Darth Maul would be cool. I would
True.
do Anyway, that's cool. It's probably just more slop for 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 Star Wars, and they're just like this worked. Let's just do it again.
Yeah.
Uh, but then the last thing I've written down for media is that Neil Druckmann,
Mm.
the creator of The Last of Us, is going to be stepping away from season 3.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Craig Mazin's going to be in control for the entire thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I've heard a lot of people really complain about Craig Mazin and his especially with season 2, people were like really not Craig's writing across the season. Which there were some things where I get it, but like he is capable of writing really good shit.
Yeah.
Um, and like yeah, my favorite episode of not my favorite, but like one of my favorites of the season, the flashback episode was a Neil Druckmann episode.
Right.
That um, I feel like Craig Mazin is probably more capable of writing a strong female character than Neil Druckmann. um,
Maybe.
Probably.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like they have the same faults with female
Probably.
characters.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But I feel like Craig Mazin is likely to listen to female coworkers and writers and stuff, and
Mm.
because like the whole thing with like The Last of Us and the second one, like before it got like rehauled and thing, Neil Druckmann like did not know how to write a female character,
Right.
and then he got help from I forget her name, but she had
Haley
like really
Gross.
big,
Yeah.
Haley Gross. Yeah, she had like really big influence on everything. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be that big of a. Um, I can see how not having that kind of vision on the third season can maybe bring it down a little bit. But I mean, honestly, I don't know. He like in the podcast and stuff. He said that he didn't make it into like the set until like halfway through or something.
Right.
Um,
But
so it's like
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know.
I was just gonna say a lot of things that they also talk about on that podcast though is how much they um bounce ideas and like really
Yeah,
make sure it's a shared vision between them even if he's not
totally
on
true.
set, which is kind of the thing that I'm most worried about. I also think Craig Mason is a great writer. I mean, I watched Chernobyl recently and I really 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 enjoyed that. But I do think there's a lot of necessary elements to that relationship that worries me that it won't quite be there. And I also liked season two. I don't love it as much as season one, but I do like it and definitely don't hate it as much as a lot of people do.
Yeah,
But I do think there were some signs in there of how he wrote some characters of like, oh, maybe it's not quite the vision that the game has of these characters, and like sometimes that's intentional and sometimes it's like I don't know if I like this interpretation more. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's why I'm a little worried, but then again, I don't know. Well, season 3 will be pretty much an entirely different cast of characters, so we'll have to see how that works. But yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
um
I
yeah,
hope it wasn't like creative differences or anything that
I hope
drove
not either. um
to leave.
Sorry, I'm like trying not to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
It's hard to do that over Discord. But Haley Gross, as we were just talking about, also mentioned that she won't be involved in the show anymore on the same day.
Mm,
I don't know how much she was in the first place. I know she helped with a bit during season two. But she announced that at pretty much the same time. So that leads to one of two things a little bit. Either like you said, creative differences might have shook up. I hope not, but it is possible, and they're just publicly being amicable about it. Or as some people have theorized, this could be them focusing on part three as well, getting a
yeah.
lot of stuff done for that, which is highly possible. They both Neil Druckmann and Haley Gross talked about how they're focusing on other projects. I mean, Neil Druckmann said Heretic, but also other Naughty Dog IPs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so it is possible that's also what's going on because if they're focusing on the show, uh, that game's never coming, and I think it's coming. um, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I, I'm very excited for Intergalactic Heretic
Mhm.
Prophet. I think that that's gonna be sick, and I'm very excited for like a new um like area of game, like sci-fi kind of stuff for Naughty Dog. I think that's
Mhm.
awesome, and I'm very excited for that. Um, I don't know how I feel about The Last of Us Part Three. Like
Mhm.
I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again that The Last of Us Part Two. Um, I that could be the end, and I'm fine with it.
Mhm.
Um, like it's of course I would love more Ellie. I would love more Abby. I would love everything. Um, I love that world, and they're my favorite games ever. But if they decided that, yeah, The Last of Us Part Two ended in a open-ended way where there could be more, but I don't know if we want to do more. I think it would be completely fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and if they wanted to like move on to completely other IPs other than like Intergalactic and fine with
Mhm.
it. Um,
Which is interesting because I don't really share that opinion as much. I mean, I love part two, and I really, really love the story it tells, and I think it ends the way it needs to end, with how that story is structured. Um, But I feel like that ending really, at least to me, it really really does call for there to be at least some sort of ending to Ellie's story, some sort of resolution of some sort,
Yeah.
and maybe even, I mean, I think the only thing that I am satisfied with is how Abby's story ends. I think that's okay to leave her story right there, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like what I want for Ellie is like something that I don't think will happen. And
yeah,
you know,
and
and
probably won't.
it's and that's really sad. And I
Yeah,
don't want her to just be this tragic, lonely, sad character. Obviously, she is a tragic, lonely
yeah,
character, and you know, she's a mirror of Joel. So it's like um, you know, I want her to be happy and be with. I
mm-hmm.
guess this is like light spoilers for the game, and well, not light; it's pretty heavy. But I'm not gonna say it flatly, but alluding to it, it's pretty. You can probably piece together things.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's just like I want her to be who
Mm-hmm.
she's supposed to be with, but I don't. You know, I could see her going off again and doing this mission for whatever reason, but I don't know. I don't know what they could do or what they would do. And like I said, I'd obviously be fine with. I
Yeah,
love The Last of Us, but I don't know what they would do.
yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
fair,
but
completely fair.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I have for media wise. And then as I alluded to, big country news.
Mm-hmm. Big
Trump and his
country, new
uh,
road. I don't know.
yeah, a new road towards fascism.
Yeah,
We we have the big beautiful bill, as it's been titled,
I
has
wonder who
been
titled that one.
hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's it was talked about in Project 2025. Um,
But Trump doesn't know anything about that.
no, obviously not. And but it got sent to the Senate. The Senate passed it, of course, with it tied, and then JD Vance had to break the tie. They approved it. Uh, and then it went to the House, and I was going to bed on Wednesday night, and they didn't have the pass in the House, and I was like, that's good to see. And then I went to bed, and I woke up, and it was like, now they got swayed. So it passed in the House.
Right.
uh, and since it passed in the House and the Senate, I mean, signed into law probably today.
What
Um,
exactly is it? I haven't been
so
keeping
so
track.
so the big beautiful bill.
Yeah. Yes.
It cuts Medicaid. It cuts
Oh.
SNAP benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It gives, I think, $140 billion to ICE.
Wow.
And like it adds like a $3 or $4 trillion to the deficit, which our country's already extremely in trillion dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and this just adds trillions more to it. Uh, but like 16 or so million people are losing hair,
Mm-hmm.
um, with like 500,000 or so in Illinois.
Yeah.
um People are losing their SNAP benefits, which means like food stamps and
Right.
like
Right. Right.
a SNAP card, which like people can go out and buy certain groceries with this card with government assisted money. um and like I said, 140 billion ICE, which more ICE agents are going to be employed, more concentration camps are being created, and yeah, so and then tax cuts were uh
Wow.
which is really helpful,
It's
and
beautiful.
is also, yeah, it's big, it's beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
it's literally going to ruin our generation's lives pretty much. So
More than they
it's
already have.
yes,
Mm.
it's and it's like this I've seen people call this bill like it's like, oh, I can't wait for Trump to sign in the I'm gonna kill everybody and beat them with a hammer bill. uh or the I hate everybody and I hope they die. Like
Yep.
it's it's just the truth, pretty really. which it's just so sick. And on top of all this, Trump was in Florida, the opening of one of the concentration camps for which they're calling
They're calling it
um,
what? Sorry, you cut out there.
alligator Alcatraz.
Oh.
Um,
Hmm.
which it's called that because there's a moat of alligators that they're putting around it so that if immigrants try to
Oh my
escape, they
god.
get ripped apart by alligators.
Dude, this
Um,
is literally fucking Azkaban with Dementors, bro. What the hell are we doing?
it's cartoonishly evil.
Yeah.
They're ruining ecosystems by putting them in a fucking moat, and
Yeah.
then and they're also just being cartoonishly evil by ripping people from their families and from their homes and putting them in a fucking concentration camp, which nobody wants to fucking realize that it's a concentration camp. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah. So the big beautiful bill,
Big and beautiful. Jesus Christ.
it's being signed into law today, and that
Oh, on
means
July
that
4th. Happy
yes,
America. Yeah.
yes, there's also gonna be a UFC fight, White House lawn,
Hmm.
which I don't, I I I don't know what to say anymore, really.
Yeah.
Um, Democrats need to get their shit together, man.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know why the fuck they think that posting passive aggressive things on Twitter is really anything.
Yeah.
Posting passive aggressive things on Twitter and then going to to the house and Cory Booker he did that like filibuster for
Right.
48 or 24 hours or whatever, and he stood there and talked, and that was powerful, but it didn't, at the end of things, it didn't really do shit.
Yeah.
And they're not trying, obviously they're not going to be able to pass much right now or anything. um but they need to really fucking work on their image for the country and for the people to really get behind them. uh it's just it's not good right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need more young people, we need progressive people, we need people who actually care,
Yeah.
like Chuck Schumer, who's like the Senate leader for the Democrats, or the House Senate leader. He was like, in lieu of the big beautiful bill being signed, he was like, I'm gonna make them change the name. If it's gonna be passed, make them change the name so it's the big beautiful bill. It's the big ugly bill. And it's like, brother, that's not helping at all. um, it's just it's not good. It's not good.
Agreed.
He the only hope I have, the Democratic, or not even the Democratic Party, but just for leftists in general, like Zoran,
Mm-hmm.
like I talked about last week, he's great and he actually cares about people. Like AOC, lover or hater, she cares about.
Yeah.
Uh, she it's like we have these young people and actually care about the country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that that get made fun of or get like looked down upon because they're too left wing or they're brown. Um, and it's just like we need help.
Yeah.
um, it's just yeah, but yeah, I was talking to my manager this week. You got any plans for the 4th of July? No, I kind of hate this country.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh no." He was like, he was like, Why?"
There's a
They
list.
keep, oh, yeah. And I was like, they keep proving to us that they don't really care about us, and he's Hispanic, so it's like, especially you.
Mm.
Uh, so it's like, and I was like, I've said this for a long time. The American flag is a hate symbol at this point.
Mm.
Um, it just, you see people waving the American people who love Trump, all the wrong things in America. So it's like, while well, my dad's given me flack for saying, and a lot of people, sure, it's just like I don't know. I don't see the American flag as a good thing anymore,
Mm,
um, which is sad. But I was just like, yeah, I don't like this country. He's like, yeah, I was really excited to be president. And I was like, me too, man.
mm,
Me too. But people don't want to listen to an educated black woman.
yeah.
So but it's really cool, and if you're if you're celebrating if you're celebrating America today, I really hope it's just the fact that you get to barbecue and not just actually for the celebration of the country, because it's not worth celebrating right now.
Yeah.
Um, but that's my spiel. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Worst thing about it is for some reason you cut out sometimes. But if there's whenever it cut out, usually I could pick up context clues. But if I couldn't, I'd let you know.
I'm
But
sorry.
I don't know why that was happening because it's not like you were talking quietly. So
I don't know. I was trying to be close enough to the mic to where it's not like
yeah,
cutting
yeah,
out
yeah,
as much, but I don't know. I might just have to check connection to the
yeah.
mic or something.
And yeah, it might be. God, I don't know. It's whatever. But everything came through here. Everything I needed to. But yes, 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 yes. Country
It's yes.
sucks.
Woo!
Woo. Well, that's. You got anything else, or you can probably just go into song of the
Uh,
week.
there you go. That's on the week. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Yes.
Well, I'm up first this week. And I didn't listen to anything new this week, but I was kind of revisiting some oldies but goodies throughout the week. One of a couple of them being like Now Not Yet. Haven't listened to that in a sec. Listen to that. But I was looking through our playlist to see what would be a good song to choose. And we've never actually chosen anything from Pretty Odd by Panic at the Disco, and we both love that record. And something that was giving me some good summer vibes. After the rant we had, we should chill off with this one. One that I was really liking is That Green Gentleman, Things Have Changed by Panic at the Disco. Things have changed for me, and that's okay. All right, that was Things Have Changed. Or wait, sorry, that was That Green Gentleman, Things Have Changed by Panic at the Disco. What'd you think of that, Colin?
That helped, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's a nice, soothing, upbeat. Yeah,
Sometimes all you need is to look back and reminisce on the good days of Panic at the Disco.
yeah.
And
Don't look back in anger.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was. I love that song. That was great. I love Brendan's background vocals at the end, where he's like singing behind the "Things Have Changed for Me," and he's
Yeah.
just like going off behind there. But I love that song. It's great. Pretty Odd. I'm surprised that we've chosen, to be honest. But
Yeah.
good choice.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
mean, I was listening through that again. I think I need to do another listen through with headphones because I'm realizing now that I have not listened to this album with headphones for a long time. And I love hearing all those little details and how they're spaced throughout the mix in this track. But yeah, I listened to that one just in my car radio on the way to work and everything. And I don't know, it just hits. I love that album. I think for both of us, that's a perfect album. For me, it is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it's one that I've loved for a long time now.
mm,
And that wasn't an immediate song that I loved on there, but it's one that like it just gets stuck in my head every now and then, and it's such good
yeah.
positive vibes, and I love all the instrumental stuff going on all throughout too, and the structure is really great, and it's just like, goddamn man, Panic at the Disco was in a good place at this point.
What happened, man?
Yeah, well, two people left after this album, so
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know how much John Walker did, but Ryan Ross, very big voice, leaving from from that record. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
I was also like on an old album kick this week. I
mm,
was listening to self-titled 21 Pilots
mm,
a lot this week, just because like I think I was watching those Riker Road guys.
yeah,
They listened through self-titled a few months ago, and I hadn't watched all of those. And they're also doing No Fun Intended right now, so I was
yeah,
like, oh, I'll go look back, and I just like I love Wetless Birds and like Taxi Cab and stuff. And I was like, God, I need to go listen to these again.
yeah, yeah.
So I was on a little kick with that as well. So
Cool. Well,
yeah.
what are you feeling for your song of the week, though?
Well, I liked that McKinley Dixon album
Ooh.
quite a bit. I'm having trouble picking which one, but I think I liked Listen Gentle quite a lot. So I'm gonna go with Listen Gentle, McKinley Dixon.
All right.
Loud, take these pennies from my thoughts, turn it to 100,000, but I can't control the fire. Everybody get down.
All right, that was Listen Gentle by McKinley Dixon. What'd you think, Mike?
That's a great ass song. That's one of my favorites on there too. I really love the instrumentation on that one. It's very lush on that one in particular. Some
Yeah.
gorgeous strings and those like solo trumpet shit that's like going on throughout the whole track is just so tasteful, so nice. And then also the hook that he raps on that one just consistently gets stuck in my head every time I listen to this song. Like it's it's like strangely catchy. Like I for some reason I wouldn't expect that hook to be catchy on a first listen or so, but like just every time I hear it, like I want to like say ad libs with him and like finish the line with him each time. Like it's just so it's the flow is just so nice,
Yeah.
and you know, lyrics and everything are all great on it as well, and it's just a very very strong track. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. A lot of this album really it was reminiscent of Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little
Yeah,
Sims,
I can
just
see that.
with the production and all the horns and how lush. It's just like gorgeous all throughout,
Hmm.
and like I said, I really love his thing. The one that like the I was like listening to this while playing I think Peak and the one lyric that made me like whoa was the I'd kill myself to bring you back. How's that magic
Hmm.
alive? And I was like, ooh, damn.
Yeah.
And it just this the whole song is like really good lyrically, just beautiful production wise, and I love it. And I would really recommend you go listen to this record.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Ditto. Ditto.
Used to be my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, I mostly know of Ditto because I think Smosh made a video.
Pokemon in real life.
No, not that one. I
No?
think was it Smosh who made it? There was someone who made it like back in early YouTube or like 2011 YouTube ish. That was like Ditto. But it was like in like the thing. And like you didn't
Oh,
know who Ditto was. I think that was Smosh who did that. I don't know. Anyways, that's
it could have been. It might have been like movies in real life, and they put like Ditto as a thing or something.
yeah, something like that.
Um,
That was my most of my exposure to Ditto. Actually, pretty much all my exposure to Ditto, even to this day.
hey man,
Yeah,
that's fair. You weren't raised a Pokemon kid, so that's completely
it's actually
fair.
kind of funny because I did try Pokemon quite a bit. I played Pokemon Black, I think. That was the one I
Mm.
played, and then I had a lot of the cards, but it just never got super super into it. I tried, but yeah.
Yeah. That's all
Most
right, man. That's all
I
right.
I
Don't. It's okay.
hyperfixated on RuneScape instead, so um,
And that has stuck with you.
damn straight. Um, anyways, it's about that time of the episode. The best part of the episode, as we said, at the top, where we start wrapping things up. Unless you got anything else to add this week.
No, I'm all good.
All
Just
right.
hoping you keep up with that
Um,
promise.
right. Stay tuned. If you're listening on streaming services, thank you very much. We both appreciate it very, very much. You should give us a highest rating on those 5 stars
Do
or
it.
whatever That may be. But you can also come on over to YouTube, where we are under the same name, Broken Boys, capital N, BOIS. And you can see a whole bunch of stuff from us in the description. Well, you can see our, once again, muted colored profile pictures on this very warm summer season. Very, very in character for both of us. But you can come see those. But in the description, we have a whole bunch of stuff too, like the Song of the Week playlists, that thing that we were just talking about and adding to. We got 3 playlists down there. We got one for me, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of us combined. And in those playlists, you can find Listen Gentle by McKinley Dixon, or That Green Gentleman, Things Have Changed by Panic at the Disco. Along with probably other Panic at the Disco tracks and one other McKinley Dixon track. You can go listen to those, and you should listen to those. My buddy my buddy Daniel listened through all of it, and he told me the other day he still checks in on it every couple weeks or so. He'll listen to the new stuff we put in there. So you should do that too, dear listener.
That's the dedication I want to see.
Exactly. He's a true Broken Boys boy. He's a true Broken Boy. Actually, no, I like Broken Boys boy. That's what we're gonna say.
Broken Boys boy.
Our Broken Boys boys and girls.
What's up, my Fortnite boys and girls?
Exactly. And yeah. Other than that, we got links to some personal stuff too for me. I make music. I alluded to it earlier during Colin's talking about his week. I self-promoted myself. I have an EP coming out in a few weeks here at the end of July. I hope I'm not competing on the same day as Quadeca. That's another music news. He did like confirm that Vanisher's coming out sometime in July. Anyways, but my EP Cyclicism is coming out at the end of July. Yeah, you can catch up on your Plane of Lore. Open Up is also out, the first and only single. You can go listen to that, get a little flavor of what you're in for, kind of. And catch up on Coping Mechanism if you so wish. Which you should. And yeah, that's it for me. Oh, I got Apple Music and Spotify down there. Okay, that's it for me. And I also have my TikTok down there and my YouTube page, as well as my album of the year page, where I rate and review music. Woo. Yep, that's it for me. And my relation to you, dear viewer, man, I don't know where I want to go with this week. Well, both me and you, dear viewer, we are this will be dated by the time this episode comes out, but today's July 4th when we're recording this, so we're just at a little get together, not celebrating the country, but celebrating family, the true Vin Diesel style. We're in line getting some food from a nice American long table of food that people brought, potluck, I guess. And I'm right behind you, eyeing up your plate, wanting to steal an extra burger from you. That's dear viewer. Yep.
Way better burgers than the holiday party.
Yes, yeah, these are good burgers, and I'm like, I want another. And I'm really, really eyeing up your burger behind you, but you don't know. Dear viewer, and Colin over here, he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter page, where he updates when videos are posted, as well as updates when things need to be updated. And he also runs our TikTok and Instagram Reels pages, where he posts funny little clips of us being silly little dudes. And there's some good clips in there. You should go check those out. And also you should follow the Twitter page to be there for updates. Do it. And Colin also has a couple personal things. He's got an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music, but he's also got a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies. And I'm assuming you can find a review of the K-pop movie that I forgot what it was called.
Yes. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes. You should go check that out.
Yeah, you should. Do it, please. Love you.
Love you. And sorry, I thought you were talking to me. And Colin over here, or what's your relation to our dear viewer, Colin?
Well, I'm also at this 4th of July party for a get together with our dear friend viewers, and I'm gonna, I'm in line. A nice burger or hot dog or some potato salad or something. And I'm gonna behind me to make some conversation, see what our dear viewer is gonna pick, see who's behind them, see what they're gonna pick. I'm gonna see I'm gonna turn around and Mike just drooling over this our dear viewer's burger right behind them. It's getting on their shoulder a little bit. They're not noticing, but because they're so infatuated with the food and the conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be like, Mike, come on, and I'm gonna give you a burger just because you deserve it. And our dear viewers can be like, that's so nice. I love being here. Our my favorite podcast co-hosts, and I would really love to embrace in this moment.
Wow.
And
it's the most consensual one yet.
yeah. And I'm gonna say that's a great idea, dear viewer. And I'm gonna put down my plate. I'm gonna have you. You're still gonna be whole, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal because it smells good, and I'm drooling over that too. And I'm gonna embrace our viewer front. Mike's gonna embrace our viewer from the back, and we're gonna have this nice long embrace. And as we're having a good hug, I'm gonna look over your shoulder, see Mike wipe the drool from his chin, and I'm gonna kiss you real deep and real nice.
Aww.
And due to this deep nice kiss, you're gonna squirt. And
there you go.
Thank you. And there you go. Yeah, he squirted, and this embrace is what we like to call the love cage. And if you would like your very own love cage, dear viewer, all you must do is drop your address in the comments below. We won't find you. I mean, we will find you. You won't know when. You won't know where, but we will find you, and you'll get your very own cage. So drop that addy.
Goddamn straight. Yeah. Well, I squirted.
Yeah. Yep. And it's all over the place. So come back next week, and we will clean up the squirt.
Yeah, we're gonna sit there for a week, and then let it marinate a bit.
It's gonna mix in with like the pool water that's gonna drip from people's bodies anyway. So it's not nobody's gonna really
right.
I'll know it's squirt, and that's all that really matters.
I love that soda. All right. See you next week.
Bye.